What's going on, world? Welcome to another great episode of Indie Music Major Business. I am your host, MUG Amillion, in the building. And that's right, man. I'm also the author of the book, Indie Music Major Business, A Guide to Your First Royalty Check. So you already know, man, if you've been tuning in, watching the show, you already know how it go, man. The goal here is to motivate, educate, and elevate you as an indie music professional, right? And so, no lie, man, in real time, I was on the way out the door, finna head to the gym, and it just overcame me like, you know what? That's an episode. That's an episode, man. In this music industry, we never take in consideration, right? As indie music professionals, we hardly ever take into consideration the major business behind taking care of ourselves, man. Your mental health, your physical health. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a long-term game that you being a part of, right? Hopefully it is for you. If you plan on being a part of this music industry for the long haul, you got to take care of yourself, right? A couple points I want to make and touch on, man. Like I said, your mental strength and your physical strength. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm on the way to the gym now. You as an artist, right? If you're an artist, an indie music professional, that's a recording artist, a live performing artist, right? So I know the basis of our show at the end of the day, of course, is definitely trying to help you get your money and get paid for your music. Again, the book is a guide to your first royalty check. But at the same time, right, one of those ways I talk about all the time of how you can get paid money from your music is the performance royalty, right? Live shows, the back end money that you can make from your PRO, your BMI, your ASCAP, CSAC, and all of that, right? Live performances, let's talk about it. If you're going on a national tour or a worldwide tour, but let's just say national, we indie music professionals, man, so let's keep it where we at. You're on a regional or a national tour, right? It calls for you to be traveling a whole bunch, in and out of town, either on a bus, in an SUV, Sprinter van, airport, whatever, however you're going to be traveling and moving around, right? That's a lot of wear and tear on your body. If you're doing it the right way, again, you got a publicist, they got you set up doing PR runs, so you're doing radio shows over here, you're doing meet and greets over there. You know, you ripping and running, you putting a lot on your body. You're putting a lot of strain on yourself, man. So your physical health and your mental health has to be a part of the major business that you are taking care of as an indie music professional, right? So again, we're talking about live performances. A lot of you artists out there right now, you may be doing quick little opening shows, showcases or whatever. You performing one song, two songs, you know. Even some of y'all that's doing that, I've been to some of these showcases and I've seen y'all performing. Some of y'all cannot even keep your breath up through a 3-minute, 4-minute song or show set, right? How are you going to be doing a 30-minute, hour-long show set when you really get booked and put out here on a tour, right? So your stamina, your cardio, you know, I'm headed to the gym now. Like I said, man, I'm finna be hopping on the treadmill, you know, keeping that stamina up, keeping my breath up. You know, one of the techniques that I used to do, I'm gonna drop some money united with game on y'all, man, from me. Again, some personal, real deal major business. One of the things I used to do when I was on our tour and I was prepping myself, getting myself ready to start going and doing live shows, knowing that I was gonna be doing multiple shows in 1 week or multiple shows in one night, back-to-back shows and performances, though, actually, you know, performing to the instrumentals, right? Or ad-lib track, not rapping over the song, playing. And even if you're doing that, you know, if you're still on a level where you're performing like that, a lot of times your breath control, like we can notice that. People in the crowd, they can notice that you're running out of breath. You're skipping over certain parts because you can't keep up with the record, right? This is a live performance is completely different from how you recorded the song in the studio. You really got to be in shape and be equipped fitness-wise, breath-wise, to be able to keep up with real deal live performances, right? So again, some of the major business that you got to take care of is those shows, man. With those shows is your health. You know, Again, one of the techniques I used to do, right? I don't know if you got access to a swimming pool or your gym got a swimming pool, or whatnot, man. But, sometimes what I would do, especially like the hotel we were staying in had a swimming pool, and I would hop in the pool, and as I'm swimming, I'm rapping the lyrics to my songs, right? Yeah, as I'm swimming, I'm rapping the lyrics and performing my record in the swimming pool, right? This helps you to be able to keep up that breath. And this is one of those slick techniques. Or even if you're getting on a treadmill and doing it, same thing. Sometimes I do it on the treadmill. You're on a treadmill at a decent pace. You don't have to be like full-blown sprinting and running hard, but, put your slight incline on there, get you a nice pace of walking on the treadmill and start rapping those lyrics, man, and see that breath control. See how much that heart rate gets to pumping, because if you putting on a real show, you expecting people to want to start paying you to do live performance. If you putting on a real show, it's exercise. You really real deal working out on the stage, man. You see it and hear it all the time from some of the major artists that you look up to, right? You hear about the health complications. Such and such was on tour and then they passed out backstage or whatever though. Because people are not taking care of themselves from a health standpoint, right? Yeah, we here to make money from this business. But what good is the money gonna do you if all you spending it on is medical bills or spending time in the hospital, or you can't finish out a tour because you running out of breath. You done had a seizure. You done almost had a heart attack or a stroke. This lifestyle that we live, right? Let's be honest. It's not the most healthiest lifestyle. A lot of the events and performances that you're doing is late night. So therefore what? Your food options are minimized. You're not really eating the right way you're supposed to eat. A lot of y'all trying to live that superstar lifestyle, that you see on the internet and seeing your big celebrity people living up to, and you drinking all the time at night. You know what I mean? You're doing your smoking, your vaping, and your hookahs and all of these different things. At the same time, man, you wearing down, tearing down your most valuable gift and part of you being able to make money from the music, which is your voice, right? Your throat, your heart, being able to just keep up. Like I said, man, this is a real deal workout. If you on that stage and you putting in the work the way you supposed to be putting in the work on that stage, and you really moving that crowd, running from the stage from this end to that end, it's a workout, man. I guarantee if you was to put on your Apple Watch and you go do a real deal live performance and give it your all, it'll probably clock you for doing the exercise. Same way as if you was in the gym working out, right? So I want y'all to start really taking heed to stuff like that, man. Again, if you're an indie music professional out there, this is some of the major business that we don't really think about while in this industry. Again, we focused on making the money, but what good is making the money if all you're doing is spending it on your health, right? Perfect example, man. This true testimony, man. Real quick little story, right? So DJ Paul of 3-6 Mafia, man, one of, highly influenced us when we was younger, growing up and whatnot, man. I had the honor and pleasure of linking up with him during a studio session one time while he was here in Nashville. And so while we was in the studio session, of course, I was part of helping to do the running and stuff, though, to go get him what he needed. Was part of the transportation and everything as well for him. But part of accommodating his studio session, prior to even going to the studio session, I was going to pick up some waters, but something just told me in my mind, like, you know what, let me wait, because everybody don't drink any kind of water. Okay, we get to the studio session, and one of his first and main requests was the Pierre waters in the glass bottle. In the glass bottles, right? Our first conversation, you talking about an artist and a group that I looked up to and we admired, man, since we was teenagers, man. And my first time getting to meet this man in the recording studio had nothing to do with music. When our first conversation was about health, he talked about how a billionaire friend of his at the time was dying from throat cancer. And something that the guy had told him was that he felt that he got the throat cancer from all those years of drinking bottled waters out of those plastic bottles. And so that's why he crossed over and started drinking water out of the glass bottles. So again, I say that to say, small details like that people like them are taking heed to, right? Here it is, a billionaire. His billionaire friend dying from throat cancer over something that could have been as small as drinking water out of plastic bottles for long periods of time, man, over all those years of his life, right? And him making that switch to drinking out of a glass bottle instead, man. You know, again, you may not be able to can afford to do that every time, all the time. But again, the main thing I want you to get from that is the health consciousness that he brought aware to me. And, you know, I've already kind of been up on it as well, though. I've switched up my eating habits and all that for a long time now. Again, like I said, I'm headed to the gym right now, man. I stopped what I was doing because I thought about y'all, man, my peoples out there, my indie music professionals out there that's not probably taking the health serious the way we should, right? Again, man, so I just want to drop that on y'all real quick, man. Like I said, if you look at a lot of the OG artists that you're seeing, Method Man, Busta Rhymes, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these guys, man, who else I'm thinking about? Styles P. You know, you hear about these guys, Juicy J, speaking of 3 6 Mafia, man, going vegan and stuff like that. Now, again, not saying you got to go full vegan or anything like that, but the point of what I'm trying to make is their longevity is stemming from them also being health conscious, man, conscious of their health, right? Because again, we in this business for the long haul. What's the use of making a lot of money from the music industry by taking care of your business? Your business is going to take care of you, right? So part of that business is your health. What's the point of making money from this industry if all you're going to be doing is spending it to breathe and take care of yourself, man? My guys at Earn Your Leisure, I think they said something like that one time on an episode. Rashad said something similar to that. I think he was telling a story, man, about another millionaire, billionaire type person, man. And like the guy said, man, again, what's the point of having all of that money if all you're going to be doing is spending it on to be able to breathe? Because you don't let your health decline. You get what I'm saying? So take care of yourself. You are the major business as well, man. Not just the paperwork, the publishing, and the songwriting splits and all of that. You are the major business. Take care of yourself, your health. Even from a mental standpoint, I went through a big period of grief after losing my mom, followed by losing my uncle, you know, and different traumas and dramas that I dealt with and faced. And I had to get grief counseling. And, you know, the therapy sessions got me through. You know, my meditation time. Now I'm still in the mornings, man. You know, I listen to some soft, quiet down type music, or even some just straight up silence at times though, man. And I get my mind right, man. I do a lot of breathing techniques. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife is big into yoga. So every now and then I may jump in on a little yoga session with her just to stretch and breathe some, man. You know, like let your mind settle down from all the riffraff and the noise that you got going on. Again, this is a busy life that we're a part of, especially if you're an actual artist, or even if you're a manager or somebody doing the behind the scenes work. Again, we ripping and running, and it's always something going on, man. But you got to take that time out to soak in that stillness. Let your mind be at ease, whether it be in the morning time, midday, at night before you do go ahead and call it a night and lay it down a little bit though. If you can squeeze in and do it all three, that's even better. But again, man, take that time out to get your mind right, man. Get your mind settled, you know what I'm saying? To breathe deep and breathe from within, man, and get yourself grounded and focused, man, so you can clear out all the noise, because you don't want to start moving through this thing and making a lot of decisions emotionally, right? Making a lot of emotional decisions or making a lot of decisions out of distress, you know what I'm saying? Because then that's when you just start acting out and you start doing things you wouldn't normally do that's out of your character, you know, or you find yourself abusing drugs, abusing alcohol, and again, declining that health, man. So like it all kind of works and goes in together. You know what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of y'all like to keep up with your social media. As you can see, you know, y'all probably some of the ones that do it to some of these major artists, man. But as you can see, these outside people, they don't care, man. They will comment and say any and everything about you on one of these posts. But at the end of the day, these people don't know you for real, man. They don't know what you're going through for real. Their opinion shouldn't even really matter like that. You get what I'm saying? So be able to block it out, block out the noise, man. Do you some breathing. Like I said, get you some quiet time to yourself sometime. Step away from everything. Unplug the phone, unplug the social media. Give yourself 5-10 minutes a day to just be away from all the noise and all the distractions, man. You know, again, man, take care of yourself. As an indie music professional in the music industry, man, you are the major business. Again, yes, you're the artist, the songwriter, the creator of the music. Yes, you're the brand that's pushing the merchandise, that's pushing the other brands that you affiliated with and attached to. But at the end of the day, man, you got to take care of you. You get what I'm saying? You are the major business, man. Your health, your mindset, your peace. You know, protect your energy out here, man. Stay grounded, stay focused, man. Again, so that's my time for the day. And I'm finna, like I say, head to the gym, man, and get it in. But I want to drop that on y'all today, man. Indie music, major business. Again, we here to motivate, educate, and elevate y'all to the next levels, man, out here in this music industry and even in the world in general, man. So if that ain't some motivation for you, if that ain't some education for you, if that ain't some elevation for you, I don't know what else to tell you, man. But now, hopefully y'all got something great out of that episode. Again, man, it's your boy MUG Amillion. Find me on all my socials at MUGS_A_million. Link is down there in the description, man. Y'all check that out. Follow the link. Go check out the book. It's on all your streaming platforms where you listen to all your music at. Subscribe to the channel, Money United with Game TV. Shout out to Money United with Game. You know what I'm saying? One of our sponsors, the label that's backing this whole thing, man. It's backing me. It's backing indie music, major business. Yeah, it's doing it just like that, man. So like I said, take care of yourself, your mindset, your health. That's the major business I want you to focus on too, though, man. Not just get to the money, but how you going to keep the money and be able to enjoy the money in the long term, man. Taking care of yourself. You feel me? Again, y'all, man, much love. Y'all be easy out there, man. Let's go. Yeah.